Hey everybody, Greg here. Have Brandon again with us, my son-in-law, and today we wanted to talk a little bit about just quality. Quality in your EDC items, quality in the items that you carry. And you know, a lot of times we get questions like, you know, why would I buy this product that's $50 and this product is $30? And you know, a lot of it is personal too, but there's also a lot of quality, and we've got a few examples that we can talk about today. I mean, you know, and not everything has to be that has to be pricey to be good.
No.
Not saying that at all, but sometimes there is a difference.
There is, absolutely. And I think there's a couple different things that go into quality, because there's quality of materials.
Right.
There's quality of workmanship. And there's also quality of design or technology. So you've kind of got a lot of different things that go into what makes quality.
Well, you know, one example, there's a knife that, a brand that we've just started carrying, and I just started talking to the owners of the company, and it's Finch. And, you know, they've started, this is called the Runtley, and this happens to be the Jade. And for example, the blade steel in this is N690, you know, so it's a really high quality blade steel. And it's obviously very well, has a lot of good material, but I think one of the things that you just hit was, the design.
Yes.
You know, there was some time taken to design this. It was very specific. The choices on the blade shape, you know, the way it works. So I just think that you're right. You know, design is actually a huge part of it. And, you know, sometimes, you know, a pen can just be a big pen. Nothing wrong with it.
No.
But, you know, sometimes there's design that goes into it. It's like, oh, it's a little more functional, or it just looks a little better.
Right. I think there's that value proposition there as well.
Right.
You know, maybe to me, I think this knife is awesome. If somebody who's not a very big knife person, they might not think it's as cool, and they may not value it as much. But maybe that person's really into leather goods,
right?
So they may really think this Rustico piece is really, really cool. A really nice Rustico wallet there.
Well, with that, you know, for example, just, you know, the quality of the leather, how well it's stitched.
Absolutely.
You know, okay, I can go down to a department store and I can buy a leather wallet.
Yeah.
Why would I choose this over that one?
Yeah. But what about my Velcro wallet? I think that thing's really cool.
Right.
Why can't I carry that anymore? You know, that's everybody's got their own personal things. And it also comes down to what do you value? Like I said, you know, there's some people who really like flashlights, really like pens. I think the Bic pen's always kind of a good go-to.
Yeah,
one.
it is.
Because, you know, I could have 35 Bic pens for the cost of some other pens.
Right.
But do I enjoy writing with a Bic pen? Okay, if the answer
is
no,
maybe you do, though.
Yeah, then maybe you do.
And that's fine, you know. I mean, that's the whole point. If you like it, great. Carry it, use it.
Absolutely.
And you know, one of the things I know, you know, liking pens like that I do, and this is a Retro 51. It's got a really cool design to it.
Yeah.
Liking pens like I do, one of the things that's kind of a little bit of a funny thing is, you know, people want to borrow your pen, and it's like, I don't know if I want to do that. So the joke is you carry Bic pens, and when they want to borrow pens, you just give them those. You know,
chew on the end really good, so they won't ask you again.
so that you'll get it back. But you know, you're absolutely right. You know, an inexpensive Bic pen will write.
It will.
Now, is the experience for me the same if I use my Retro? No, it's not. I happen to like the weight, but I also care about the fact that there's little details like the knurling, you know, on the handle or on the the handle here, and then just, you know, just the texture of it and the weight of it. I don't get that with a Bic pen.
Absolutely.
And so that's part of it too, you know. Is it going to perform 100% better? I mean, it's got a fantastic refill. That's the other thing. I can choose my refill, but maybe not.
Right.
But it's better.
Yeah.
But I like the way it feels.
Oh yeah. Well, and that also comes down to, I have a Retro 51 as well. You know, it's got all the different, every American flag design there ever was, and I think that one's really cool. And then I was messing with it one day when I first got it, flipped it over, and right here on the tail cap there, it has an American flag with the word Liberty around it. And I just thought that was such a cool thing that they added.
And people wouldn't even know that.
They wouldn't even notice it, nothing. And honestly, that's just the pen that sits in my office. That's my desk pen.
Because you like
that. You know, because I just think
that
it's
little
cool,
detail.
And I think that's just awesome to me.
For example, this Finch Runtley. One of the things that's really cool about this is they took the time and they put a sapphire
glass coating.
Glass, or it's sapphire. It's not glass.
Yeah.
And if you put a light on it, it illuminates. It'll glow. I think that's really cool. I love watch loom, and so it's like that. And I think that's where they got it. It's a cool detail. Some people wouldn't even care, but I'm paying for the fact that they, as you said, they took the time to design that in, manufacture it, and put it together.
Absolutely.
And so now, one of the things we've talked about pins a little bit. We'll talk about knives. We'll talk a little about wallets. This is a stainless steel wallet that's got stainless steel fibers woven through it. It's Stewart stand, and it's RFID blocking and things like that. I just like the way it feels. But flashlights. We've talked a little bit about it before. It's like, for example, we've got this Olight here, which is a titanium rainbow, gorgeous thing. But again, I can go down to the local hardware store and get a really inexpensive one. Why would I do that? You know? And I think it comes back to the details.
It does.
Because if you like you mentioned on the pen, if you look at there's some really unique features that show up in this. Just the way it's done, the fact that the rainbow coloration's done the way that it is, plus the feel of it. I mean, these are nice quality, great technology in them.
Oh yeah, when you pick that up, it feels like a quality piece.
Right.
And the really cool thing about Olight is, they've got the rechargeable tail cap there. I think this one might be magnetic, I don't know, but they have ones that do have the magnetic tail caps on there, which little things like that. Also this pocket clip that's really cool. It's kind of an S clip, so you can clip it onto your hat as well and make it into a headlamp.
Yeah, that's right.
There's just a lot of things like that I think are really, really cool with Olight and a lot of other light makers out there. There's a ton of fantastic lights out there, but this is made of titanium. It's pretty bright. If you look into it there, those kinds of things that really matter whenever somebody is a flashlight person.
Well, you mentioned titanium. There's with the in the knife world, in the flashlight world, a lot of knives have titanium scales on them, and you pay for that.
Absolutely.
And so I've been asked the question, well, why would I pay for that? And it's it comes down to a couple things. One, if you just like the way that it looks, right?
Absolutely.
The other thing is, titanium cuts down weight.
Yes.
That's a huge thing. And so, one of the things I know that matters to a lot of people, myself included, is weight reduction, because by the time I carry all this stuff, it's pretty heavy. So that's where getting into the design, the manufacturing, and the materials, they take some weight out of it. It's still extremely functional, looks really good, but you're losing a lot of weight, and that's a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
And then that goes into blade steels.
Yep.
If people that are interested in knives and love knives, they like to know what blade steel, and I get it. I didn't always care 100% about what blade steel I had. I didn't. I just liked the design of it. Nothing wrong with that. But then over the years, I began to learn a little bit about some of the advantages of some of the nicer steels.
Absolutely.
And you're going to pay a little more for those.
You will.
But you get some benefit. I mean, so what's the difference between a knife that I just buy at a gas station and this? For you, what would be the difference?
And for me, the main thing is the quality, the way that it feels in my hand. The action of this Finch is there. This is the second time I've handled this knife, and I know the exact amount of force I need to get that knife open.
Right.
Things like that you just don't get. There's no blade play.
Right.
There's anything like that. The centering is spot on. Things like that. If you're not a knife person,
you don't
I might have just spoke a different language. You don't know.
Right.
But then you also there's some things, for me at least, with blade steels on knives. Some of my knives, the blade steel outdoes my sharpening abilities.
Well,
because of how hard the steel is, and that's a whole nother road you can get down. I think that's going to be another video, is talking about that with knives. But
because I can't. Sharpening knives, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be corrected. But I've messed some of my knives up.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll be honest with you.
I've done the same thing.
And it's been corrected. But so that's the advantage of a quality steel, blade steel, is it holds the edge really well, and you don't have to worry about sharpening it as much. You can tune it up a little bit.
Correct.
But you don't have to re-sharpen per se.
Exactly.
And then also, I think with some of the nicer knives, one of the things that I fail to forget, the warranties that come with those.
Absolutely.
And they'll offer free sharpening many
100%.
times. Where it's like, this thing, I've spent money for this. It's gotten dull. As long as it's not, used to pry bricks off of your side of your house or something, they'll sharpen it free. And I know, like the clips. Had a buddy of mine just broke the clip on one of his knives, and he just contacted the manufacturer. They sent him a free clip. So again, not every inexpensive knife is going to do that. Same thing with
100%.
With the flashlights, with the pins, and all those kind of things. So,
yeah.
you know, the quality of the materials definitely makes a big thing, but also the warranty behind them, because I think
yeah.
all of these people will stand behind their product pretty well.
Absolutely, because if they really care about the craftsmanship, they want you to be happy.
They do,
and
right.
and that's where, you know, you kind of made the joke about sending, or you know, talked about sending knives back. That's what I do. I don't sharpen my knives anymore.
Right.
I just hopefully I bought enough that I can always have some in rotation. So some are in the mail, some aren't.
I know where you can get some.